Hey there, good morning. Welcome to Coffee with Connie. I'm Connie Fuksa. How are you today? I try to come to you a couple times a week and talk to you about a lot of different things that I experience or have experienced just to share exposure because I feel like if we don't share things with others, then we have all this really good information. You're full of goodness, but if you don't share it, then you can't help anyone else get to their level of their best goodness. There's lots of things that I've experienced over the years. The past 32 years, I owned my own business. It was a title company. We did closings, home closings, and insured people's ownership. And through those experiences, I learned a lot about people. I learned a lot about having employees. I learned a lot about running a business. I learned a lot about developing teams. I learned a lot about being a leader and how you help people become leaders themselves. I learned a lot about growing yourself personally and not letting some of the small stuff in the weeds get you down. And so I like to talk to you about a lot of different things. Today, one of the things I wanted to talk to you about is, pushing through the storm that you have and not worrying about what other people think about that storm or about that situation or about the way you look or about the way you feel. So a couple of things, and it's probably going to be a little bit all over the place, but a couple of things that have come to me. I like to post inspirational things in the morning, and a lot of people comment about how good they are or different things of that nature. And one thing I wanted to share with you is the reason that I post inspirational things is because I need that push to keep going through that storm, to keep looking in the right direction, to keep pushing on that path. And so I look for a lot of things, and I listen to a lot of online books and not necessarily just motivational things, but things that make you think about what is the best path for you. And so I share a lot of those quotes because I want you guys to just see and feel the things that push me along. And so today I thought maybe I'd talk a few minutes about that storm. I had a really great conversation with a really good friend yesterday who was a colleague and who has become a good friend. And we were talking about some of those storms and some of those things that you have to go through. And there's a couple of things I wanted to point out about that. Number one, you're the only one that can get you out of your own head. We've talked about this before, but you're the only one that can make sure you stay on the right path. Because even if others are helping you, even if you're in, let's say you have a substance kind of a problem. And even if you're in some kind of a program, you still have time that you're in your own head. And so I need you to remember that your head is what's going to keep you on the right path. So you have to keep good information going into your head, and you have to keep focusing on getting to that right next step. And you have to not focus on what other people may think or comment about those things. One of those things that I'll share with you about that is on a personal level. I told you I sold my business, and so that sounds really exciting and wonderful, but there's a lot of things that are pretty emotional about that, and a lot of changes that happened in my life that I thought I had some things on the right path, and I wasn't really sure, and I've had to walk myself through over the past 9 months what those differences are. And sometimes if you put yourself in the right mindset, opportunities approach. And so in my case, an opportunity approach that I never saw coming. I went from running a multi-million-dollar business and having a pretty decent small business staff and working with them over the years to train them to be the best at their in their abilities and teach them how to get through things in their heads and work through problems and problem solving and grow to the next level in those things. And then I went to, now I don't have anybody to work with. Now I have to figure out how to make things happen on my own. And so I had some really clear pictures about what those were going to look like. And of course that wasn't the path that I was supposed to go down, because now I've since found out that the path I was supposed to go down is to be working with a really great company, Mary Kay Cosmetics and Mary Kay Skincare, that shares information with the consultants and lets us pass things on. So for all the years that I had to create and do things, I'm now working with a company that's creating all this stuff for me, and I just have to go do what I love to do. But it's funny because I share this with you because we think we know what our path is. And so when we're struggling through that storm, you're struggling through whatever the difficult thing is. Maybe you have a physical ailment. Maybe you have some struggles mentally with what you're going to be doing next, or maybe it's even more involved than that. Maybe your struggle is very deep and something that's controlling telling you, you still have to be accountable in your own head and in your own mind about the downtime that you're going to focus on you and how you're going to be the better you. The better you. You know, this is kind of quirky, but a lot of people will journal or meditate or those kind of things. And I get up and walk in the morning, and I walk several miles. And during that time, I see a lot of things, and it makes me just really get centered and try to focus on what I need to do that day. And this morning I saw a butterfly, and in the comments, I'm going to post a picture of him. But what was funny is, or interesting, not funny, is he flew past, and I thought, oh, that's really wonderful. And when he landed, I noticed his wings were very beaten up. There was lots of parts missing, and it wasn't one of those beautiful, oh my God, monarch butterflies with all those vibrant colors. He was brown. He was brown, but he was very in touch with what was going on. He was flying around like he was, really happy and doing his thing. And his whole body was in perfect condition. It's just his wings were a little tattered. But he still was able to fly and get into flowers and get the nectar that he needed and do the jobs he needed to do. And it really kind of centered me thinking, it doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter how other people might think something is good or bad or indifferent for you. And other people, in his case, might think, wow, you're not as beautiful as a monarch butterfly. And how do you deal with that? Because, wow, you're just not that pretty. He was very much on a mission doing the things he needed to do for his life. And so I want to keep you focused on that. The storm doesn't really matter. The best aha points come when things are the toughest. And how are you going to get from that tough spot to the other side of that storm where that rainbow is popping out while it's still raining? The storm is happening, the wind's blowing and the trees are cracking and things are falling. But whatever it is, absolutely whatever it is, I promise you there is a rainbow as soon as that tree stops crackling and that wind stops blowing. It may be still raining, the rainbow's there. So you have to push through whatever this is. I'm not telling you this as a rah-rah, hey, I'm telling you as a real situation. As I said, I was working with a friend yesterday who was going through some serious struggles. And we sat and just talked and broke down what the struggles were and what are some avenues that could make the puzzle go in the right direction, make you find that puzzle piece that you've been searching for that probably fell under the table. There are solutions, and you just have to trust yourself and keep pushing through that storm. So I'm not here to make life rosy and smiley and happy all the time. Sometimes I want to share with you some experiences that I have not with myself, but necessarily with other people or things that I see. Think about that butterfly. I'm going to show you the picture because he's really stunning in the respect that he obviously knows how to get to where he needs to get his job done. Doesn't matter what he looks like. And it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks about him. So I want you guys to have a fantastic day. I want you to get out of your own head and push through whatever your struggle is, because it doesn't matter. You are bigger than that struggle, and you can make it happen, get to that next stage. So fight that struggle. It's real. We learn from every experience we have, good and bad. But know that there is something on the other side of that struggle, and it's up to you to get there. Reach out and ask for help. Let other people hold your hand. But you have to get out of your own head and keep pushing. So, yes, Michelle, thank you so much for tuning in. I love talking to you, girlfriend. And I know you're going through some struggles as well. So let's hold hands and keep pushing through what those things are. So I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Let me know if you have any questions. If there's anything I can talk to you about to help you out, I'm always here to do that. And I hope you guys are pushing through whatever your storm is. And I'll talk to you again real soon. Take care. Bye-bye.